Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Eccles. This is Nicole. She's going to be helping me out today. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about carpal tunnel syndrome. And a lot of you may not realize that chiropractic doctors can actually help people with carpal tunnel syndrome. A lot of times we think of chiropractic as just helping people with the neck or the back. But actually, any joint in the body is fair game for a chiropractor because we're trained in all the joints and bones and muscles of the entire body. So today let's talk a little bit about the carpal tunnel. Carpal tunnel is, of course, in the wrist itself, and it's called carpal tunnel because of the carpal bones that make up the wrist. There's a line of bones along the top of the wrist, and there's also a line of bones along the bottom of the wrist. When they come together, it actually forms a hole in between those bones, so that all of her tendon sheaths, her nerves, and her blood vessels can go right through that carpal tunnel and go into the hand so that it can work. So what are some of the symptoms of carpal tunnel? Well, a lot of times people complain that they get numbness in their fingers. If that continues to get worse, oftentimes people can start dropping their coffee cup or experience weakness. They can't grab a pencil, et cetera, et cetera. And that's due to the fact that the nerves that go through that carpal tunnel are being compressed. And when that happens, that energy can't get through the hand, and the muscles can actually start to atrophy or get weak in the hand. Now, the solution is to get that carpal tunnel opened back up so that there's no more pressure on those blood vessels and on those nerves. A chiropractor can do that by simply a gentle adjustment of the wrist. And when we do that, oftentimes the person will hear a little bone moving there in the wrist. It's generally painless, but it'll open up that hole in the wrist bigger so that there's no more pressure on that. Of course, one of the other solutions is a surgical solution, but I think that should always be put off as long as it possibly can, or maybe avoided altogether with a treatment such as this. Oftentimes, people who get carpal tunnel syndrome are people that are at a computer all day long. And it's very important that you keep your wrists straight like this. And they have all kinds of different pads, and you've got to make sure that your chair is adjusted at the right height for yourself. What you don't want to be doing is, typing up like this and compressing that carpal tunnel, or typing down like this. You want those wrists nice and level and the hands nice and relaxed when you do this. Also another thing that I've found, especially with me, if I use a regular mouse, my arm and my wrist start hurting almost immediately. And one of the things that I did, I got a special rollerball mouse. And it's a mouse with just a little rollerball that I use my thumb to move the cursor with, and I found that to be very, very helpful. A little bit hard to get used to it initially, but once you got it, it's great. Oftentimes people come to me and they were told by another doctor that they've got carpal tunnel syndrome. But on further examination, it may not be actually the case. Oftentimes, carpal tunnel syndrome can be mimicked or caused by a problem up in the neck area, or the shoulder, or even the elbow. Anywhere along the path of that nerve that it gets compressed can oftentimes mimic carpal tunnel syndrome problems. There's certain little orthopedic neurological tests that we can do that can usually differentiate that. One of the ways that you can tell whether you have carpal tunnel syndrome or not is by simply putting your hands together like this and putting some pressure on them. Not too much, you don't want to hurt yourself. And leave it there for about a minute. If you notice that your fingers start to go numb, you've got carpal tunnel syndrome. If they don't, but you're still getting the numbness and pain in the hand, it could be a neck problem, in which case you're going to want to have your doctor look at that for you as well. Now, when we adjust a carpal tunnel, it's actually very light. It's a small little adjustment just like that. And sometimes we'll actually turn the hand to the side and adjust it like this. The whole purpose of this is just to open up that hole wider, take off that pressure that's being exhibited on the nerves. And when that happens, the person can usually return to their normal activity right away. So It's pretty good. I hope this helps you.